Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for, not another actually, the first review for this show. The Ultimatum Season 1 review. I'm just doing one video just for the whole season in general because, I was late to the show. I was late to the game. Everybody was talking about the ultimatum. At the time, I was like, I ain't trying to do none of that. Oh, Married at First Sight producers doing it. It's already a lot doing Married at First Sight. I'm not gonna do it. I'm the type of person I'm always late to the party. Back in the day when Crazers came out. Not Crazers. I keep saying Crazers. Technically there was a phone called Crazer that came after the original Razor. I guess Crazer was like slimmer or whatever. But when everybody was getting their razors, especially the girls getting the little pink purplish lavender one, I you know, I wasn't cool, I had the Motorola. I had the flip Motorola, the one not because the Razor is a flip too. So, but mine was just lame. Okay, when you flipped it open, it went doo doo doo, and then when you flipped it closed, it went doo doo doo. So when everybody moved on from the razors, that's when I finally got a razor. Everybody was on to like the sidekicks and what was the other one? Sidekicks, the Blackberry, all that stuff. So I was late to the game when everybody was moving to Facebook. I was still on MySpace. So, I'm late to the game. I think the Ultimatum came out earlier this year, maybe end of last year. It was just one of the spur of the moments. I was at my sister-in-law's house last week. And, I was using her TV. I'm like, let me just go on Netflix. I'm like, since I'm gonna be here all day, I'm like, let me watch this Ultimate. Let me see what everybody's talking about. So that's how I got to. I'm like, not bad, not bad. I'm glad it's like an hour episodes as versus Married at First Sight, which is 2 hours per episode. So I'm like, okay. And by the time I thought in my head, okay, I'm gonna review this. I was already on episode 5, so I'm like, I'm just gonna review the season in whole. So I know it's already 2 minutes in. I haven't even talked about it yet, but I just want to get you to the reasoning of why I'm doing a review of the season now, as opposed to when it first came out, like everybody else did. So that's just my little intro. But it's the same producers from Married at First Sight. I guess for this experiment, what they do is they get couples that's been together for X amount of years, and I guess one person wants to be married, the other person does not want to be married right away or yet, or for whatever reasons they have. So I guess coming into this, they're doing a reality show where they're gonna switch couples because, well, this is technically the ultimatum, marry or move on. That's what it's called. So the move on part is you're going to be dating somebody else that's also in a relationship. So they're going to intermingle relationships and they're going to date that other person for 3 weeks. Then after 3 weeks, they're going to get back with their partner or whatever for a couple more weeks before they have the ultimatum decision of whether they're going to, stay with their current significant other or get with the person they dated for 3 weeks or leave alone. So hearing this, I'm just like, why? So it's kind of like wife swap, but potential permanent wife swap, husband swap, even though they're not married. For me, I'm like, I don't understand it. Like I think that's another reason why I was just like, I'm not even gonna watch this. I don't got time for that. But I mean, it was entertaining, but for me, I just feel like if I had to choose between going on the ultimatum or Married at First Sight, I would rather go on Married at First Sight because you just starting fresh with a clean slate. I get it, you're in a relationship, but I'm sorry, because this whole show to me was just, I don't understand. Everybody in their feelings, but yet you doing whatever you are with somebody else. It didn't. Okay. There's no time to just, let's just get. There's a lot to unpack here because, I'm doing a whole season review versus an episode review. So I'm going to be reviewing all 10 episodes, not in chronological order or anything, but just overall of what I think of each person, each couple, the switch off couples, the hosts, even though they weren't really part of. They was only on the season for 5 seconds, but just everything as a whole. So here we have the hosts Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Okay, I guess because I didn't think about it. I'm just like, why are why did we choose them? Okay, they're gonna be the hosts, whatever. So I guess the reason why producers of Married at First Sight chose Nick and Vanessa Lachey was because of the fact that Vanessa gave Nick an ultimatum. So they're the perfect people. I guess I don't know, but we have 6 couples. Okay, we have Alexis and Hunter. Alexis is the one that's giving Hunter the ultimatum. We have Nate and Lauren, and Nate is giving Lauren the ultimatum. We have Colby and Madeline. Colby is giving Madeline the ultimatum. We have April and Jake. April's giving Jake the ultimatum. We have Shanique and Randall. Shanique is giving Randall the ultimatum. We have Ray and Zay, and Ray's giving Zay the ultimatum. Now, before we get into what I think of these people individually and as a couple, I just want to, overall for the whole season, I just have a couple of questions, which is really 3. One is, why were all the cups and wine glasses aluminum? And that this was across the whole season, no matter what restaurant they went to, no matter whose apartment or house they were into, everything was aluminum cups, aluminum wine glasses. I'm surprised they didn't show aluminum shot glasses. I was just kind of confused about that. I don't know. I wasn't watching it for reviewing it per episode, so I don't know if it was ever discussed or explained why they had aluminum cups or wine glasses in there. I was just seeing it every episode, so I'm like, I don't like it. I'm like, Mitch must be happy because, even though this was before we seen who Mitch was from Married at First Sight season 15, I'm like, if Mitch were to watch this, he would just be happy at the fact they use aluminum cups instead of plastic cups. That was one of my questions. I don't think it's ever going to get answered, but if you have an answer, let me know. The other question I had for this season was, why do he wear the same pants literally every episode of every day of this experiment, every episode for this whole season? I just noticed that unless he has like 20,000 pairs of the same pants, he wore the same pants the whole season. And I'm like, Jake, you don't got another pair of pants, bro? You didn't pack another pair of pants? Sometimes he came up with some other pants, but every episode he ended up wearing that one pants. So you must have just came with like 5 different outfits that you wore every week for the whole thing. And then the last question I had was, why was Madeline's toxic behavior not really addressed? It was kind of addressed when Colby mentioned her and a tequila, but it wasn't really addressed correctly. And when she drunk, she toxic. But now what I think of each person, Alexis and Hunter. First off, all these people, all these couples, they're all in their 20s, I believe, from what I can recall, because I don't really have notes because I didn't write notes for the 10 episodes. I just wrote their names and their decisions, all that stuff. But they're all in their 20s. And I'm looking at Alexis and Hunter. I'm like, are you guys sure? Are you guys lying about your age? Because you guys seem like you were in your late 30s. I think they said Alexis was 25. Really? Alexis, that's a hard 25. Alexis, I think she's full of herself. I think when someone doesn't like her, her ego or pride or whatever is hurt and her feelings are hurt. So now she's going to look at the person like, oh, you ain't SHIT because of the fact that you don't like me. I'm a catch. Hunter, he gives me sleazeball vibes, but, I didn't really get to know Hunter because he was only there for like 2.5 seconds. So there's nothing much to say about them, but good luck to the both of them. But I didn't care for them really. We have Nate and Lauren. I liked Nate in the beginning. I liked him when, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't think it was going to come out that big. I'm so sorry. I know some people don't like that. I apologize. So sorry. Okay. But Nate and Lauren, like I said, I liked Nate in the beginning. And when he was getting to know other girls on here when they was first doing like the mingling, intermingling, all that stuff, I felt like he was a cool person. But then when he did, we'll get to what he done did. But I was just like, it seemed like you kind of completely changed and you want to be in your whole mood and not have to answer for your actions or whatever. Lauren, she seemed like she's cool, calm, chill, whatever, going to go with the flow. And that's exactly what she did here. Colby and Madeline. Colby, he just gave me player vibes from the get go, but then I guess towards the end, I'm just like, was this all for shows for the TV show? Madeline, oh my gosh. I did not like her. At first I was like, okay, she don't want to be married or whatever, want to take her time, whatever the case may be. But then when I seen when she would get drunk, I'm like, Madeline, you are annoying. We cannot be no. You doing the most, and you and your vulgar language, especially when you get drunk. You and Lindy from Married at First Sight season 15 should be the best of friends because I just don't understand why you need to be like you want to put it in people's face about you and Randall. We'll get to that in a moment. And she just annoyed me for like the middle to end of the season, and then I guess now that she's married and with child, towards the end, she's just all like just happy and serene, which I guess is a good thing. But I'm just like, in the beginning of this, you didn't even want to be married. So how did we get from there to here? And it seemed like you guys weren't even going to be together from the way episode 8, 9. I don't know. This is where I'd be like, y'all be doing this stuff for the TV show. Jake and April. Jake, I don't think he know what he wants. April, she clearly knows what she wants, but I guess they didn't work. He was cool though. April seems cool too. And April just kind of talks a lot and very passionate about some things, and she can come off annoying a little bit sometimes, but at the same time it's like it's one of those things for me personally. I just feel like, oh, I can hang out with her sometimes, but just not all the time. Then Shanique and Randall. I love Shanique. She's so beautiful. I love beautiful chocolate girls because they be showing out. For good reasons. The only thing I would say is when she puts makeup on, she looks older than she actually is. Like when she has no makeup on, I feel like she looks so young and just beautiful. She still looks beautiful with the makeup on, but I'm just like, putting the makeup on ages Shanique to the point where she looks way older than Randall. To me. Randall, I'm going to call him, listen, if Terrence J and Trey Songz had a baby, that would be Randall. He got a baby face, and he's, very nice and soft on the eyes. So I feel like Randall with Shanique without makeup look good together. However, Shanique with makeup, she just looks like Randall's cougar. So I think Shanique looks good with and without makeup. I just feel like makeup ages her like a good 10 years. And then with Zay and Ray, Zay looks good and Ray looks good too. But I just feel like Zay, even though I feel like he's trying to be mature, he has a lot of immaturities, I feel personally. And when he gets caught up or doesn't really know how to express himself or, passionate about something or to talk about it, whether it's with Shanique or Zay. We'll get to he picked Shanique or Shanique picked him. I just feel like he stutters, but I think that's just because he's trying to get his point across, but he doesn't really know how to express himself, or there's a reasoning for that. I feel like when he's talking normally, he's talking okay, but then when he gets into a type of disagreement or discussion with whoever he's talking to, the females really, that's when he starts to stutter and kind of gets tripped up on his words. So, okay, so pretty much those are the couples together. They intermingled with each other. And the only thing I'm going to say really in that interminglingization is when Colby and who was it? Alexis. Because I felt like all the girls wanted to get with Colby. I mean, Colby's cute. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, he wouldn't be my first pick, He's cute. He's attractive. He's just not my first pick. But Alexis and Colby was talking. Alexis was talking so much for herself. Like I said, she's just that person. she's a princess. She wants to be pampered and all that type of stuff. Kobe wasn't here for that. So he told her from the get-go, he's like, okay, I don't think we would work. I don't think I would want to spend the rest of my life with you or go, dating you for 3 weeks. And he was real with her and told her that he felt like she was unattractive for him. I felt like he was trying to be as nice as he can, but be real and straight to the point. Be direct. Alexis didn't like that, so, excuse me. Ever since then, I'm so sorry about all the burping. I apologize for previously, currently, and if I burp again in this little review. So, ever since then, Alexis was like, oh, Kobe not no good person, he ain't this, he ain't that, he's not trustworthy. Alexis, please. You just upset because he don't like you. If he liked you, it would be a whole different story, ball game and stuff. You don't think he's a good person. Well, guess what, Alexis? You're not here for him anyway. So what does it matter? So stop worrying about him and go to someone else. And then he said unattractive in the second time to me because after he first told her, okay, it's not going to work, she got mad and left, I think. Then she comes to talk with him another time to be like, oh, I don't think you're a good person or genuine or whatever she done said. I don't know. I can't write it down for word because, I was just watching it. Like, first off, Alexis, you came to him. I'm like, Alexis, you were delusional. Okay? You're not attractive to anybody. Like, not to anybody. I didn't mean it like that because Hunter finds you attractive. You're not attractive to everybody. Just like everybody's not attractive to you in your eyes. So if someone calls you unattractive, just let that be. Leave it at that. You don't have to make it seem like, oh, he's such a bad person. Because I don't think Kobe's a bad person. But I'm like, Alexis, you just hurt because someone you found attractive don't find you attractive. So get out of here. And I'm glad she wasn't even on the show because I feel like she's messy as well as Madeline. But I think Madeline's just messy when she's drunk, which was like half of this whole season. So as they're intermingling, they're finding out who they may have a connection with and whatnot. Everybody's seen Ray and Jake who had a connection from the jump. So when we get to the part where they're choosing who they want to date for 3 weeks, that's not their significant other. We have Shanique. So I guess she was getting to know Zay and Nate, and she liked both of them. At the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, I think Shanique should go with, what's his name? Nate. But then she ends up choosing Zay. So I felt bad for Nate in that moment because I felt like, okay, Nate is a stand-up guy. Because technically Nate was the one who gave Lauren the ultimatum. Ray gave Zay the ultimatum. So it's like, I wouldn't, if someone's trying to give you ultimatum and you're not ready to be married, and I'm a person that's ready to be married since I'm coming on the show, having my significant other, I'm giving my significant other the ultimatum, I wouldn't choose somebody that is given the ultimatum. I would go with someone who's trying to give somebody the ultimatum. So that's why in my head, I'm like, okay, she gonna choose Nate. But no, she chose Zay. And I'm just like, okay. Listen, I know black folks got to stick together. I understand that, Shanique. I just would have went for that interracial love with Nate. And I honestly feel had she chosen Nate wouldn't have done what he did. So, she wanted the BBC, maybe, I don't know. But so Shanique chose Zay, and then we get to Jake. I don't know who asked who first, but Jake chose Ray. Ray chose Jake. And then I don't know who. Okay. Then they went to Alexis and Nate. No, Alexis and Hunter. I don't know who they was going to ask first. But I guess Hunter felt some type of way. No, I don't remember because I didn't write it down. But it just came to the point where Alexis felt some type of way. She said her speech or whatever she had to say. Look at me talking like Miss Misha. But she said something, made her little speech about how she feels about the whole thing. So I guess that Hunter took it upon himself to be like, I'm not going to let my girl feel some type of way because, she don't like Kobe. She feels some type of way about Kobe. So that's when Hunter decided to get up and he went to propose to Alexis without no ring. He's like, we don't need to do this, none of this stuff. So she said yes. So they're engaged now. So they're not going to be part of the experiment or whatever. So then we move on, because I'm like, okay, good for y'all. I don't have to see Alexis 35-year-old face, even in a 25-year-old body, on this show until maybe the end, the reunion and all that stuff. So then we move on. We have Nate whispering to Madeline, talking about, oh, I'm going to choose you. I'm going to choose you. And she's just like, "Well, f off, bro. Like, anybody trying to be with you?" And we see that because Randall and Madeline, they chose each other because she was just all head over heels for Randall since the get go when they were intermingling and all that stuff. So Randall and Madeline, okay, they're locked in. And then when we get to April, I guess April wanted to choose Hunter, but he went and proposed to Alexis already. So when we went to Colby, he decided to choose Lauren. And they were already having a connection from the get go because I think since April was like, oh, I was gonna choose whatchamacallit, Hunter, but since he proposed, I'm gonna choose Colby. Because she did like Colby too, but I guess something happened where she was crying because Jake done told her about herself. So she decided to cry in a corner, and I guess Hunter came and comforted her and all that stuff. So she wanted to choose Hunter, but he was unavailable because he engaged now. So she chose Colby, which was her second option because she did like Colby, but I think he told her like, oh, I'd rather go with someone else. I don't think we would make it for the 3 weeks, whatever. So Colby was her rebound. So I guess Nate was the third option if Colby said no, and sure enough he did. He was like, oh, I'd rather go with Lauren. So Lauren was down for that. But, Nate felt threatened by Colby. So that's when Nate took it upon himself to do what Hunter done did and went and proposed to Lauren. And she done said yes. Now, for their issue, Nate wants kids so bad. Lauren, not so much. And Alexa was kind of like, so y'all just propose everything's all good when both of you guys are not on the same page as far as kids. So, of course, April feels some type of way. And she's just like, she made a whole big speech like, this is ridiculous and not genuine on Nate's part. I don't know who was going back and forth with Nate. I think it was Alexis who was going back and forth with Nate, but or Colby maybe was going back and forth with Nate. Everybody was going back and forth with Nate. Nate was, sticking his ground of his reasonings for what he did and did. But I honestly feel like had Hunter not did what he did first to propose to Alexis, Nate wouldn't have proposed to Lauren. I personally feel like that. But whatever it is, what it is, April Dunn took a 10-minute speech saying how this is messed up. We came here for a purpose, all that stuff. Yes, you're right, April, but it didn't have to be a whole 10-minute monologue, girl. We understand, I understand, but this show is out of this world already. So for me, I'm just like, okay, well, let's not even try to be serious because this show was just weird. So weird to me. We're intermingling with each other's significant others while our significant others are like 2 feet away from us sitting at a table. Like it's just a very weird show. I think, like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't get it. But okay. So pretty much the final couples, we have Shanique and Zay. We have Jake and Ray. We have Randall and Madeline, and we have Colby and April by default. So we get to them moving in with each other and getting to know each other, all that stuff. I believe the first people we see kiss is Jake and Ray. They just seem like a good couple to me. They match each other. Like, as a couple, looks wise, they look good together. If they were to have a baby, the baby would look gorgeous. Ray's dad. I get it. Your parents' decision matters to you and whatnot. It's very important and all that stuff. But I just, for me, I get you want your parents' support and whoever you date. I get that. Trust and believe. It just makes things better when your parents like the person you date. I completely understand that. I just don't like the fact that they just hold so much of what they want to do based on what their parents think. At the end of the day, you're the one with the person. So if you're happy and your parents aren't, that's on them. Don't be with someone solely because your parents like them. Be with someone because you like them first before your parents. Of course, you would want your parents to like who you like. But if they don't and you really like them, like as long as they're not doing anything like harming you or whatever, be with who you want to be with. I really don't understand people who put so much of whether they stay with someone based on what someone else thinks, like their parents. Because parents are going to be very tough on your significant other regardless because you're their baby. I get that. But at the same time, sometimes you got to let them know, like, listen, I like him. He treats me good. This is who I'm going to be with. That's that. And eventually they'll come around for the most part. I know sometimes some people, some parents are a whole different ballgame. But for the most part, as long as that person is treating you well and you like them and you love them and you be with them anyway, your parents are going to concede and just eventually go with the flow. That's what happened to me. Okay, because that's a story time. That's a whole conversation for another different day. But my dad, he's just very judgmental. Okay, my dad's very judgmental. Goodness gracious, you know. So it took a while, but he came around. Now he loves my husband. So just stay your ground. It'll work out. But Ray and Jake, they were doing good. You know, making out all that stuff. And Jake's mama, she got my damn nerves because she just talks so much about April and all that stuff. She likes her and stuff. And just being kind of rude to Ray, like, oh, can I talk to my son in private, like a mother's son? Girl, bye, go talk to your son. Anybody telling you not to talk to your damn son? And then she pulling Jake to the side, talking about, oh, she thinks April is perfect for him. And, I'm just like, why don't you like Ray? Like, I understand you like April, but is it because Ray black or something? I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, mama, calm down, relax. Because at the end of the day, going back to what I said about Ray, if Jake want to be with her, you going to have to just go with the flow. You're not dating Jake. So you can't make this, like, these parents, I feel like y'all be giving them too much leeway to do whatever they want to do because now they could be rude to, homegirl because I get that he got dragged on this show like he loves to say. But at the end of excuse me, I'm starting to talk like Zay. I'm starting to trip over my words. At the end of the day, whoever Jake decides to be with, that's who he's going to be with. End of story, point blank, period, poop. So his mama annoyed me. I'm glad that Ray was still nice and calm, cordial. But look, mama, now you got your egg on your face because at the end of the day, Jake and April ain't even together no more. So that's how you feel now. But he went to go tell Ray that, oh yeah, his mom likes her and thinks she's great for him. Really? Are we? Did you guys have this in the same conversation as when she was talking to you when she pulled you to the side? Because when she pulled you to the side, she didn't mention nothing about Ray. So I don't know if you lied to her. You start off online already, but to me, I was just like, okay, you sure about that, Jake? Okay. As far as Shanique and Zay, I didn't really feel like there was any love or connection there. All I can say is I feel like they have great sexual chemistry. I feel like if they were to be like friends with benefits, it would be a great sexual experience. I feel like I would be a fly on their wall. But as far as relationship and lovers, I mean, it could work, but I just didn't see that for them. I just felt like they were better off just being F buddies versus, boyfriend, girlfriend to husband and wife. Just because I feel like Zay just needs a lot of counseling, therapy first before he can even get into that mindset of like, okay, I want to be with someone and work towards marriage type of thing. So Shanique, I feel like she's marriage material, but at the same time, everybody has stuff they need to work on, and no one's ever really ready for marriage. You could just be in the best mindset that you can for when that time does come. But it's something is like you just gonna have to be in it to kind of figure things out. That's what I feel like personally. But nothing else to say about them. They just had a great sexual chemistry. They did do something in the bed. I don't know if he like fingered her and she jacked him off because they didn't look like they really had sex, but something did happen in the bed where she was wiping herself up and she gave him the cloth to wipe himself up. So they did what they had to do. When we get to Madeline and Randall, she was annoying as hell. Randall, I feel like, he admitted that he had feelings for her. She had feelings for him, but I just didn't like when they had the girls' night and the guys' night, which to me is still, this is what I'm talking about, is like, this is awkward. You guys want drama because why would we're dating each other's significant others at this point. So now we're sitting to talk about dating each other's significant others. That's exactly why everybody said it's just so awkward. And then you feeling jealous about someone being with your significant other, but yet you're with someone else's significant other. It makes my brain go different directions, and it made me dizzy. But Madeline, she just, when she get drunk, she just do the most. Okay, she was just telling Shanique to her face, "Oh yeah, me and Randall kissed, and we have feelings for each other, and he's so hot, like he's just so sexy." Da 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 da. Shanique looking at her like, "Girl, please don't be talking about my man like that." And was all up on Ray, telling her she need to be with Jake and whatnot. And April was trying to keep quiet, but she was just, everybody was looking at her like, "Girl, you doing the most a little bit." And even with her friends, I just feel like she tells her friends everything, understandably so, but at the same time, you got to keep some things to yourself. She's the type of person, anytime there's an issue, she gonna tell her friends, so now her friends gonna be looking at the significant other some type of way. So it's like, in this case, especially that you guys ended up, I can do spoilers because I'm so late to the game. You guys already know what happened for all the episodes. I just feel like, you guys ended up getting married, and now you have a baby. I think the baby was born in May sometime. So now the friends just got to sit there and watch you be with the guy that you talk so much trash about. And not even only that, one of the friends slept with Kobe first. She slept with Kobe first, and now you got with him. So it's like, it her and her friends dynamic is very interesting to me. I feel like they're good friends. I'm not saying that, but I just honestly feel like how her and her friends talk. Um, you just don't tell your peoples all everything, because when you do stuff like that, then it gets to the point of, whenever they look at that person, they're gonna remember what you done told them. So even if you move forward, that was the advice my mom gave to me when I got married. So now that you told them what homeboy done did, so now even if you move past that and you guys move forward, they're gonna still think in the back of their mind, "Oh, he done did this to her." Well, she probably did the same thing too, because I'm not putting that past Madeline. Because the way her vulgar mouth, she got a potty mouth when she be drinking. I'm just like, "Girl, you drunk. Please lay off the tequila, because you just be acting so stank. You just doing the most, putting 20 on 10." And even when she was talking to Randall when she got back home that night, she was just talking to him all types of way. And he's just like, "Why are you talking to me like that?" And she was just like, "Oh, F you, this, that." And I'm like, really? But if a guy were to talk to you like that when he was drunk, you would have a problem with it, I'm sure. So she needed to get that underway. So maybe it was good that she got pregnant, because then she wouldn't have to be drinking. Obviously, it seems like when she don't drink, she's calm, cool, collected, and a cool, cordial person to be around with, about to be around. But she annoyed me. She really did. Anytime she was on the screen, especially if there was a drink in her hand, I'm like, okay, I cannot take this scene serious. So then we get to Colby and April. There's nothing much to say about them other than the fact that they just seem like they were really good friends, and they did kiss. Everybody kissed. So Colby and April did seem like they could have grown to be a couple, but I just honestly feel like it was just a whole friends type of thing. Nothing else to take from that. So after the 3 weeks, they switched back to the regular partners, and that didn't work out good, because I just feel like, ever for Jake and April, when they got back together, Jake just looked depressed. Like, he already kind of looked depressed coming into it, but he looked so much more depressed when him and April got back to being together and living together. And I guess April feels threatened by Ray, understandably so, because it just seems like him and Ray just click. So she went through his phone. Of course, he saw that as distrust and stuff and whatnot. So I get it, like, you feel distrust, but I mean, you got videos of another girl like twerking, bro. Like, well, I'm pretty sure if you saw her having other guys on her phone, you'd feel some type of way too. So I don't really feel bad for him. But yes, I agree. Like, duh, you shouldn't have went through his phone, because, like, why? But at the same time, you did have another girl twerking, and it wasn't even that video. You had multiple videos too. You admitted to that. So it's just, how am I supposed to feel? You got all these videos of different girls in your phone, knowing you would feel some type of way if I had all these videos of different men in my phone. But yeah, she shouldn't have went through it. But if you want to find something, you gonna find something. So you already see it was going downhill from there. And he just seemed so checked out with April by the time he got back with her. And April thought she was pregnant, but she got PCOS. So it was just her hormonal imbalance. And listen, I completely understand what April's going through. I too have PCOS, so I get it. But you don't be gotta telling these girls all your business, to be honest with you. Like, I understand they was trying to offer you a drink. You could have just said, no, I'm not taking a drink. But, we gotta be open and all that stuff. And, this is why I can't be on no show. Because why I gotta be open with y'all hoes when, no, 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 absolutely not. But, absolutely not. But at the same time, we won't see what happened on the ultimatum date. With Colby and Madeline, when they got back together, I guess supposedly he was talking to other girls and making out with other girls. He almost fought Zay because he tried to put on Zay for pushing a woman up on him to make out with him. And Zay was like, don't be putting that on me, bro. You did that on your own will. So they almost fought for that because they got upset because, he's a hothead. And I guess before, when he found out Madeline and Randall was, canoodling and all that stuff. So he felt some type of way and was talking to other girls for like 2 weeks, or one specific girl for 2 weeks. So of course Madeline and went to tell her little girlfriends, and Colby came to sit down with her, and he got ambushed by all the girls. See, that's what I don't like. I understand, you feel some type of way about him doing that and whatnot. I'm not gonna be sitting with you and your homeboys, if it was my case. But if I was Colby, come and sit with you and your homegirls so you guys can all ambush me. And then of course they're gonna take up for Madeline no matter what. And anything he said, they're gonna be like, oh, what do you mean? You absolutely do. So I'm glad he got up and left. But at the same time, I'm just like, bro. Not bro. Madeline. You wouldn't want to be ambushed by him and his boys in that case. So why are you doing that with you and your girls? So that scene annoyed me. It's like, I get it, girl power, we're gonna stick with our girl. But if you're gonna have a conversation like that with Colby, they don't need to be there. They really don't. They don't need to be. We don't have to be there either, to be honest. I feel like any real conversation with your significant other needs to be had behind closed doors. So for me, but we move on. I think I said all of them. No, Shanique and Randall. They seemed like they were okay. They had a little bit of a hiccup, little arguments along the way, but nothing else really came about of that. And Ray and Zay, they got back together, but once again, it just wasn't the same. And I guess she don't like Jake, just like Jake don't like Ray. And Zay felt threatened by that because he always brought up her and Jake. And I guess she feels like she don't know who she want to choose. So Zay felt some type of way. I guess one night he went out until 8 in the damn morning. Absolutely freaking not. Absolutely freaking not. I feel the same thing Shanique done told him. Like, I'm just, for me, my opinion, you can't just be going out and just coming back whenever you want and think it's going to be okay. Because sure enough, if I were to do that, you wouldn't want that. So why would you do that to me? But I guess that was the last straw for Ray. So she done broke up with Zay. And that was that. So then that's when we get to Ultimatum Day. Ray and Zay already done broke up. So they didn't have an Ultimatum Day. And when we get to Randall and Shanique, Randall proposed to Shanique. She said yes. When we get to Jake and April, Jake said no to April. He don't want to be married right now. So April cried, and that was that. But then we see Ray come over to Jake or whatnot. And Jake didn't propose to Ray, but he proposed 2 tickets to anywhere in the world to go with Ray. So Ray said yes. When we get to Colby and Madeline, he proposed to Madeline. She said yes. And they got married right there on the spot. Right then and there. And I was just like, really? Y'all were just talking about, I could have sworn the night before the ultimatum day, whatever, she done told him it's not going to work because he can't take accountability. So I don't know if he took accountability over the phone that night or whatever, but she was just so happy to say yes. And was just like, oh, wow, I'm a wife now. And that's why I'm just like, y'all just doing this for the TV show at this point, because I don't understand. I really don't understand. And when we get to the reunion, Madeline come out, she's 7 months pregnant. So as soon as they got married, they done did the do with no condom or contraceptive, and she pregnant with a baby girl. And then as a gift, they gave her one of the aluminum sippy cups. So this is y'all signature cup for the season for the show. Okay. I don't know if they're gonna have the daughter used it. I don't know if she used it or not. I don't be on the social media or nothing, so I don't know if she got no pictures with the baby in a sippy cup. The baby just born in May, so okay. But um, y'all tried it. Y'all tried. Y'all could have gave her one of those pacifiers that says the ultimatum on it. Y'all didn't give. I would have just put it on the shelf like a little trophy. I wouldn't have, but if they did, I mean that's on them. It's just I wouldn't do that with mine. But okay. But their marriage is going well and married life is great. There's nothing else to take from that. And just from the looks, Madeline's hair is darker. April and Shanique's are blonde now. April and Shanique are blonde now. I don't know why I put a S on her name, but they're blonde. Jake has braids. Everybody else looks the same. As far as Hunter and Alexis, they're still engaged and plan to marry in June of 2022. So I think they did get married. Um, so good for them. I still think they lie about their age, but okay, that's great. And then Nate and Lauren, they agreed to have one kid for now. You sure? Because you said one kid for now, but it's like not gonna happen anytime soon from what Lauren done said. So I don't know where y'all go from here. But y'all want to be together, good luck to you guys. Cause Nate, you be talking about you want to have kids so much that they recapped on the show, and Lauren still seems like she's just gonna say one to shut you up, but she really doesn't really care for kids that much. So good luck to you guys. I just think stuff like that, as far as religion, kids, stuff like that, those are deal breakers. If you guys don't are not on like one accord of wanting the same things for your marriage or your kids, or whether to have kids, it's kind of not really gonna work out. But if they ever do, or where are they now for these people? I would love to see if Nate and Lauren are still together. And if they had a kid, I'd be shocked. Wow, Lauren came around. But okay, and as far as April, of course, her and Jake not together, but April did say that she is in a serious relationship for good. So good for her. Jake, he's single. Looks like he's just chilling. That's great. And because Jake and Ray they didn't work out. They did not go on a trip. Ray talking about they both felt guilty, and I'm like, girl, no. You probably the one that felt guilty because I feel like Jake don't give a fuck. Honestly speaking, homegirl April already moved on. So I feel like he was just like, you know, I'm not gonna say nothing, but if you were down, I'd be down. But you kind of left me hanging because you felt guilty about Zay, and Zay been talking about. Zay was talking about, listen, look, y'all didn't get together, y'all didn't go on a trip because we were effing the whole time. We was effing every day, and Ray told us that they did get back together or try to make it work, but it just didn't work out, so they're not together. And Ray reveals that she's bisexual, so she's currently with a girl. So that's cool. And then when we get to kind of Shanique and Randall, I guess Shanique was explaining about her relationship with Zay, and when they had their little sexual encounter in bed, she told Randall. But then this is where Ray, I guess, got some balls and was upset that Zay didn't tell her, understandably so. But she went off on Zay, and I'm just like, girl, you got a lot of animosity. You're very hostile, and I guess Zay was trying to say what he felt and trying to talk, get his word in edgewise, but she wasn't letting him. And she was talking about like, don't attack me, Zay. Don't attack me. You should have told me, da 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 da, cussing him up a storm or whatever. She was acting like Mindy from season 15 of Married at First Sight. But I was just like, Ray, calm down. Girl, calm down. Okay, because you was with Jake, and then I guess let Zay tell it, you was ever him too. So, girl, calm down. Relax. It's not that serious. Nobody's attacking you. Okay? So, I guess she wanted to show out a little bit. Everybody was looking at her like, I would have been looking like, okay. I would look at my husband like, you see this thing? You know, you see what's that's crazy. But okay, she said what she had to say. Zay got up, he walked off, but he came back on stage because you know they always gonna come back on stage. They gotta get that check. But and then lastly was Shanique and Randall. Their engagement is off. They broke up, but they're back together and taking it slow. And that was it. That was the Ultimatum season 1. Uh, do I like it? It was something to watch. You know, it's not something I'm gonna be like, oh, I gotta go watch the Ultimatum. It's just like I started watching it and I'm like, this is interesting. Let me do a review on it real quick. So let me just watch the rest of the season. If there's a season 2, would I watch it? Probably. Would I review it? Probably. Maybe not episode for episode, but just the season as a whole. Um, that's it. There's nothing really else to say. I was late to the game, but I made it here and I done did it. It's done. I mean, that's that. If you guys like this video, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment what you thought about the Ultimatum season in general. And would you watch season number 2? You let me know. Until then, I'll see you guys next time if I ever pop up with another random review or not. Or if not, until then, because it's already Saturday, I'll see you on Monday for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because that's still going for whatever reason. But anyways, thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.